What's good, everyone? It's Gavin or Tweek.
What's good? What's good? What's good? It's Marcus or Pink.
What up? What up? It's Charles or Chuck. And today, no Haz, unfortunately. Got a little busy.
He quit.
Oh no, but yeah, I mean, I just got back from California, so we got a bunch of Smash turns to talk about. We got to catch up with GOML as well from last week because we were celebrating our 200, talking about just like the podcast in general and the journey, which was really fun. If you guys didn't see that episode, make sure to check it out. And of course, if you guys want even more wonderful Tweek Talks content, make sure to check out the Patreon and Gavin, since he is retired. Support Gavin on YouTube, Twitch, and Metafy. So all those links are going to be down there, rotating throughout the show. So make sure to support Gavin because he does work hard to bring all this wonderful content to you guys. And on that note, how you doing, Gavin? How's your week?
Thank you. I'm doing well. I have been doing a little bit of something different for the bonus content. I did upload some Matchbox stuff to the Patreon, which was cool. Maybe we could get more into that in general throughout the episode.
After this episode, you should just start some Matchbox, and me and Pink will just hang out with you, and that'll be some content. Easy.
That sounds pretty cool. I think you have a good idea there. Yeah, I'm doing well. Just Bananza waiting room. We're almost
it's very soon.
We're almost there. Yeah, it's 2 days away, but it's basically 1 day away in my head because I'm just streaming it at midnight. Yeah, I'm probably gonna sleep in tomorrow and do a really long stream at midnight.
Are you gonna get the hard copy, or did you like order a hard copy and then you also download it so like right at midnight?
That's what everyone was asking today on Twitch. I pre-downloaded it since I want to play it as soon as I can, but I will grab it physically whenever I can too, just to have it.
Yeah, I didn't know if you were about. I feel like you do like physical copies. I've been to your place and I've seen you have like a good amount of physical copy stuff. So
I got Mario Kart physically. I actually didn't even digitally download that one. But yeah, there's not many like Switch 2 like big first party games, so I might as well keep up with it. Yeah, I played the demo, which was really fun. I went to Target and played the demo.
A picture.
It was ridiculous, bro. Every button is so dedicated to something. Like, all 4 triggers do something different. All the face buttons do something different. It was overwhelming. Like, combinations of buttons do stuff. Like, in like a good way, it was overwhelming. Like, you have options, bro. Like, on some 3D Mario type stuff.
Nice.
Honestly, it feels a little different than that too. But yeah, I'm doing well. Been streaming. I just was streaming some Smash and Shiny Hunting, the usual. Been doing Metafy lessons a bit more. And yeah, I'm doing well. How are you doing, Marcus?
Yeah, I mean, life's life. Nah. Honestly, I'm pretty good. We are deciding to put little man in daycare. Due to like some health complications with Stacy's mom. And that joint is expensive, man.
Oh,
daycare is brutal. Usually most people are paying like, or I don't know about most, but it seems like the average going cost, at least in Maryland, is anywhere between like $300 to $400 a week. Which ends up, that quickly ends up being $15,000, $20,000 a year or something like that. You know what I mean? So we're sending him most likely to like a special school, like a specialized school. It's called like a Montessori school. And we've heard really good things about them, but those are super expensive. So we're looking at like $24,000 a year or something like that.
Dang, man.
Numbers. But the way we look at it is, sorry, my cat, you can see his tail just keeps appearing on the screen.
Special guest, let's go.
The way we think about it, it's like we're only gonna have one. That's been decided, like that's locked in. We're only having one. And we want to give him like the best life possible. Like we don't want to like shortcut him anywhere that we can. Like, yeah, we could save a couple $100 or whatever, like here and there, but like money comes and goes. And if we need to make more money, we'll figure out a way to make more money and all that stuff. Yeah. It's gonna be tough. Not like we can't afford it, it's outside our budget or anything. But it's like, it's thinking about it, like, dang, that $800 a month could have gone to some other bill, if we did like a
Mm-hmm.
$300 one or something like that. So, yeah, I mean that's where we are. I think it's starting like Monday or this upcoming Monday, so it'll be cool. It'll be a different experience because like we've been with him for pretty much 2 years. Like he's never gone to daycare, so it's like 2 years of just wake up, little man's there. Like he's gonna be there throughout the day. We did take him to our parents, like or my parents, like twice a week, but still, it's gonna take some getting used to. But yeah, life's good. Life's great. I'm excited for that. Work's been good. Stace is like applying for a new job. So she has her second interview. What day is today? Oh, when y'all hear this, it'll be the day of, I think, assuming it comes out Wednesday. If it comes out
Wednesday or Thursday.
Thursday,
usually.
then yeah, the day before. But so hopefully that goes well. She would have summers off, so it'd be really nice. Pay increase plus summers off. Less days of working, more money.
Hey.
Like yeah, that's good. I mean, if it doesn't go well, she already is making good money, has a job. So yeah.
That's another opportunity, right?
Yep.
Let's go.
And then Chuck, I mean, you just did some flying. I know you mentioned it earlier, but how was your stay in SoCal?
It was fun. You also, I mean, just talking about childcare, I'm going through a similar situation, but it's the other side of the spectrum where it's like elderly care, and it just
also
to me,
brutal.
it always. Oh, I think I'm lagging. Oh, lag.
Bro is not lagging. Bro might be lagging. he wasn't lagging. Then bro turned into some pixels.
Dang, am I back?
You're good. Yeah.
Wait, is Chris here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're good.
You're good.
Okay.
Sorry. Might not be great.
I couldn't see Chris's like screen. Okay, cool.
Oh.
But yeah, I guess we'll start from here. Yeah, now I can see it. But yeah, Pink, just talking about childcare, I'm on the other side of the spectrum where we're currently looking for places for my mother to stay. She's like older and has dementia and stuff. So we're looking into that. And let me tell you, man, elderly care, childcare, that stuff is expensive, especially elderly care, because the baby boomer generation, bro, man, I wish even like the conversation you were just having, Pink, baby boomers got carried so hard because you didn't even have to think about that kind of stuff. It was just like getting a house and all the other stuff was so much more affordable back then. God, I wish I was a baby boomer. That generation, the most carried generation, by the way, baby boomer generation.
True,
dude. Because it's way harder for us, man. I don't even care. Like I will straight up say that. But anyway, the trip to SoCal, dude, they were hella.
They could just waste their ult whenever they wanted. Like,
never punished. Have a mortgage, the family afford, not even have to really think about it. Just whatever, dude. Just let it rock. But yeah, SoCal was super fun. I had a great time. I haven't been to SoCal regional in like a long time. I mean, I barely get to go out to Smash events. I was really surprised when Genji was like down to fly me out, get a hotel for me and all that stuff for the event. They brought out a bunch of players as well. We saw a bunch of NorCal talent, a bunch of talent from Mexico as well showing up to the event. UAS, which was super fun, and it seems like they want to do it more. McDonald's was one of the sponsors for the event. McDonald's Gaming. That. Yeah, dude, the Hamburglar jokes were great, dude. Hamburglar and Ronald McDonald jokes when me and Bam were just commentating top 4 of the final bracket were amazing. I had a great time, and even just commentating with Bam felt nostalgic as well because Bam is back in SoCal but was in NorCal for if not all of Ultimate or all of Ultimate, if not like most of it. So yeah, it was a nostalgic experience overall. I've been away from SoCal. I've been living in Hawaii for like a year and a half now, so it was fun, man. And the tournament was in Orange County, which is only like a 10-minute drive away from where I used to live with Void. So I pretty much just stayed at Void's place the entire time, got to hang out with the house the entire weekend, which is really cool. Hit up all of my usual places. So Cali tacos, got a Cali burrito. I got, In-N-Out, went to Salt and Straw. I hit all the check marks. I was spamming for sure. And then I got to see a bunch of Smash homies too. And I got to catch up with a lot of SoCal Smash homies. So that was really fun. Everyone's very excited for the next game. So
That doesn't even exist, which is funny.
yeah. And then shouts to anyone who came up to me and said congratulations on episode 200 of Tweek Talks. Appreciate that. And obviously, I'll let them
That's
know
really cool.
like there, but I'll also shout them out here too. That was really sick. And it was just, I mean, I'm just not usually in an environment as much as I used to in terms of Smash. So it's very refreshing when I get to go out and people show appreciation for the podcast, and I just get to talk and catch up with a bunch of homies too. So it was a good time, and it was a great tournament too. So I think there was a lot of players that turned a lot of heads, and I also think SoCal slowly but surely like leveling up again. You know, I think SoCal had their peak during, especially like beginning of Ult Smash 4 when 2GG was around. I think just the region had a bunch of resources, and now the region is trying to bounce back after losing a valuable resource like 2GG. Yeah, apparently when your region has a major every month, your region's pretty good. I mean, case study, look at Japan. Japan has a major every week, and they're super duper duper good. So, yeah, it overall had a great time. Did you guys want to start talking about GOML? I know we kind of cut short on GOML last week, so I think we could open it up with GOML this week, right?
Yeah. I kind of want to pull up the top 8 bracket again because I did watch it, but I already
definitely got to talk about Bananza because I am very excited for that game.
We definitely do. But yeah, I streamed it, the GOML top 8 and everything. Let me pull it up.
Go.
That would be the first thing to talk about, bro. Sometimes, honestly, a lot of the time, it doesn't look like you can win against Fargo. Like most of the time, like more than 60% of the time, bro is the best.
Yeah, it feels like he's the best player in the room, whether he wins or lose. Like,
yeah,
I think most of the time,
time.
yeah, you can kind of like look back on the bracket and just be like, yeah, he's the best player in the room.
But there was some other cool stuff too. Like Cola had a little bit of extra passion in this bracket. Like that set versus Zomba was very noticeable. Like Cola was really hungry for like each individual W. That was really cool to see. Like he was like extra locked in. And there were some other things that happened for the first time. Like Sonix versus Hurt have been avoiding each other for a comical amount of time. And we just saw how prepared Sonix is for Snake in any capacity. Like, god damn.
Well, I also just, when I think about that matchup on paper, I think what makes Snake strong is any character. I mean, I think this is a proven thing throughout Ultimate, but if you can fly, you're probably going to be pretty good. So I'm looking at Rob, I'm looking at Snake, right? We got some characters that can fly sky high in the building.
Yes.
For some reason, the characters that can fly, I don't know why, but they're also like thick. Like they are heavy. So it's like you fly really high and then you get punished for it. Who cares? You get back to the ground, and then it's like it always impresses me when there's characters or character / pilot combinations that really make characters like Rob or Snake have to care, right? And I think Sonic is that. Sonic plus Sonix, very studied player, really can push the advantages of Sonic the Hedgehog. And I mean, again, Sonic was a character that everyone looked down on for quite some time. I know Sonic plus Tweek plus Gavin. Gavin was a believer in Sonic pre-quarantine. Oh, he always thought the character was bullshit. And then, and to be fair, a lot of the Sonic community, like I would say most of the good Sonic players thought that Sonic was good. Obviously, like there was a bunch of complaints really early on, and I know did Sonic get some buffs to fix up some of his things? I actually don't know if that character. Okay, yeah. So I mean, there was some changes that helped. Yeah, up air was one that like really didn't like. Sonic used to have moves that just didn't work before. And then when they work, it's like, maybe they should not work. Maybe that was for the best, right? But yeah, I just feel like Sonic can up B really high, and whenever a character can up B that high into the air and then follow up with a strong move like back air, that's where it gets really crazy, because that's where Snake is going to have to like pull back some of the recoveries, and instead of going high and going for a B reverse trade with grenade, then you're kind of getting Snake to go more towards the ledge in those scenarios. Maybe you can kind of catch Snake going towards ledge or catching the directional air dodge to ledge if they're cutting it short. So I think Sonix always well prepared, well studied, and yeah, I honestly didn't know who was gonna win this set. It was kind of a toss up for me because when I thought about character wise, I'm like, man, I feel like Sonic, the character, has all the tools to defeat Snake. But it's also weird because Hurt's coming back from this hiatus.
Bro,
I'm just mad that Hurt, and like I would love to hear your opinion on this, Gavin, because I feel like Hurt had this really crazy come up, and I'm not like before Kagaribi happened, I felt like Hurt was the best player in the world. And I
Yeah,
know
there was a
lot of
window
other-
where I think there was no doubting that you had to
Mm-hmm.
give him his flowers that he was potentially the best player in the world.
But then he kind of got that ripped away from him, and it didn't feel like he got to like compete
really
when he had the
awkward.
momentum, right? So like to me, that pisses me off as a fan.
It feels shitty for sure. It doesn't feel great. But going into this set specifically, I thought Hurt had 0% chance of winning.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And is that the character diff?
I think Sonix is the most prepared for this than anyone else. He plays against Snake constantly. So
oh yeah, because that's a good mention. He grinds a lot in Vegas, right? MVD and all that other stuff. Yeah.
So he plays it beautifully. I actually roomed with Sonix at that Miami tournament at the end of 2024. And we talked about Smash a lot. Like before, after, we just talked a bunch. And I struggle with Snake a lot, especially as a Diddy Kong player. And he just gave me the whole rundown, bro. Like his entire flow chart, all these things he does, like it's so impressive. You know, how consistently he's been beating Snake for a long time, how he's really upset that he somehow doesn't run into Hurt. Like one of them loses, like they're always projected to play, but they never end up doing it. So like with the general knowledge about Smash Ultimate and Sonix that I have, plus having the extra knowledge from rooming with him and talking with him, I just knew that he was moving on in the bracket. Like he's just not going to lose to Hurt. And to be honest, the set was actually really close. The games were close. The set wasn't that close, but yeah, I don't know. I even said it live. I was like, Sonix is winning this for sure. Yeah, also the matchup's probably pretty hard. Having the run speed to dismantle like the perfect timing for all of the grenade pulls and stuff. Like Sonic can run in and steal a dropped grenade from Snake before he's like actionable. Or like he can punish like a grenade toss in ways that other characters could only dream of. Like he'll kill you. So it's interesting. Yeah, I do remember seeing that dash check and being like, damn, that dash check was troll. But it, in the same breath, it's also proof that like Hurt is just like next level. Like if he's not number one, he's like right next to the number one player. So like he's right in that top 5 or whatever. But yeah, it was a rough roll. Like he's gonna have to create something entirely different to beat Sonix, I think.
I don't know. For her specifically, I mean, we'll never know unless he like comes out and say it. But like Charles said, it is really, really, really rough that I think his tournament performances were like at majors was like second, first. Like I think he got like second at like 3 firsts or something like that. And
yeah,
he was definitely on pace, number 1 in the world. He gets banned. The tournament he gets banned, he also like underperformed probably because he got banned. I mean, it's hard to know. He also ran into some rough matchups. I mean, he played Monty and like Game Watch and all that. So maybe that affected him, maybe not. Again, we won't know. And then like his opportunity at being number 1 for the season pretty much just immediately disappeared because I feel like the idea of like most likely whoever won Kagaribi is probably going to end up being number 1. Who knows how much that is weighed? Sorry, cat just knocked over my light. Who knows how much that truly is weighed? But like, you also miss the opportunity of getting to prove that to yourself, even if it doesn't turn out that Akko ends up being number one because you won Kagaribi, you know what I mean? Like,
I'm telling you,
if
Charles, he
yeah, I
is
mean
so
he's locked
ready.
in. If
Sheesh.
because it's like you're clearly looking like the best player in the world, and the biggest tournament of all time in any Smash game happens, and you don't get to compete. And it's just like what that does to your mental. Like, I'm sure, like, yeah, he's back, but like, is he really back? You know what I mean? Like,
You gotta ease into it.
like
Yeah.
that
It's gradual, I would say.
yeah, I can't imagine, like, let's say Smash 4 happened and like you got banned right before Civil War, like, and then you just have to lock back in right afterward,
Like a
like, all
couple
right,
months later,
yeah, like, I'm back. Except at least with Civil War there was like a lot more life left, you know what I mean? Like, it felt like there was a lot more life,
yeah.
but
There's
like,
more insult to the injury, I think, because of the timing. That's true.
yeah,
There's not
Yeah,
just
yeah.
gonna
With
be
Civil
another
War
Kagaribi.
no,
I
not
would
like
or
that,
not
anything
like
like
that.
that for
Yeah.
Ultimate.
not
Yeah, I
like
mean,
that.
because I mean, you went to the tournament, Gavin, and I mean, I would love to hear your thoughts on like the vibe of the tournament in a sense
Yeah.
of because it's like I'm thinking when I love that Pink brought this up because Civil War happens, you know, a ton of people get upsetted, but all the top players are probably just like, all right, cool. I mean, there's the 2GGC champ. That was one of the tournaments in the 2GGC or 2GG championship. It's called
Yeah.
2GGC for sure. Sorry, I'm like mixing it up. But yeah, that was just part of a bigger circuit. So there's still the finale of the circuit to look
Yeah.
forward to. There's even more tournaments afterwards. I'm assuming what the vibes were at Kagaribi is like, oh shit, this is like the last ultimate tournament that like super duper matters, is what I'm assuming.
Yeah, like the vibes were, to be honest, I think we're lucky the vibes were that intense in the first place that we managed to pull off like such a special vibe at that time in the first place. And then when the hurt stuff happened, like around the time, wasn't it like the
It's
level
like
up before Kagaribi or something?
was it
Level Up
Level Up
was
or was it Battle
before
BC?
Kagaribi.
Oh, Battle BC.
I think it was at Battle BC that he got
Yeah, sorry.
that ban,
When
which
when
was
he
like a
heard the
week.
announcement.
It was
Yeah.
like a week or two before Level Up. So.
Okay. So
Yeah.
how I feel is like, or how we felt, like a lot of us thought it negatively impacted Kagaribi to the point where like we were really upset and like we were trying to like, how can we help? Like, how can we figure out a way to get him to play? But like, obviously we didn't end up doing anything too like drastic. But yeah, we were upset. We thought it really negatively impacted something that we were already lucky to have in the first place in Kagaribi. But obviously it was still a great event.
Yeah, for sure.
In so many ways, in pretty much every way. But yeah, I think the main thing I want to get across is looking back at that Japan trip / Kagaribi is like, damn, I'm really glad it was that magical of a tournament at a point in Ultimate where there's not a lot of magic. There really isn't, at least to me and a lot of people around me and like in our general community. So that was cool, but yeah, it definitely stung for a while, and I'm sure Hurt will ease back into at least like, you know, there's like he still played great, but like I'm sure he'll ramp up. Because you know it's not like there's a new game coming out next week, so we're playing this game for a while.
We got some time. We don't have a
Yeah.
lot of meter. Ultimate's kind of low on
We
meter.
at least
but
have, I think like we at least have another 12 months. It's not like I can't say
Yeah.
like 6 months because there's no way. That would be extremely fortunate, but yeah. So the Sonix and Hurt stuff I really wanted to bring up. I really wanted to bring up Cola because it felt like a really noticeable like passion. He was playing great. And then the big thing is like Spargo's just so unbeatable. Like it's kind of like light where it's just he just gets his hands on you and you just can't play the game and it reaches a point where you can't bring it back. That's how I feel. Like it's brutal watching him play against players because he gets like an opening and it's just systematic. And it reminds me of how like a lot of really good players get at the end of a Smash game where it's just it's so hopeless when they get a hit versus you because it's not even just about being at a deficit. It's about everything that like comes with it, and like you just everything is a losing scenario because they're just so consistent and systematic, and that's what Spargo feels like. Like the best players at the end of Smash 4 is what it felt like. It felt hopeless when they put you on the ledge, or like there's just so many simple things that are just Smash focused that they were all just so good at that it was just hopeless in like such like generic ways. And Spargo does that a lot in Ultimate, which I think is harder to do than it was in 4. So because in 4, like you could like really like oppress your opponent. In Ultimate, there's like a lot of ways they could figure out a way to bring the game back and get out of it. In Smash 4, it was only rage bullshitting your opponent. And like some of them were easier to avoid than others. So
Spargo's like interesting because everybody's like, bro, he's just mashing. And it's like
that is so funny.
I don't get like how that
He
thought
hates being
like
called a masher. Like a lot of people say it like as a joke to him, like his peers. He hates being called a masher.
it's actually funny. Y'all are like opposites.
What, playstyle?
Almost, kind of. Yeah, like everybody calls you a camper and you're
Oh,
like, I
yeah.
hate being called a camper. And he's like
Yeah.
a masher and they're like
Yeah.
he hates that. But it's just like sometimes I watch him and I'm like, it feels like you like sat there and you just took 10 million notes on what every single player that you're likely to play against is going to do, and you cannot be wrong. Like you cannot be wrong. It is ridiculous how many times I like see him hit someone one time and he's like, yeah, they're going to double jump here. They're going to drift this way. And then after they drift this way, I hit them one time. I'm not going to hit them vertically this time because when I hit them vertically, they like
and the extra.
Bro, it's ridiculous. He's like, oh, if I put them on the ledge, they're going to do this. Then finally they'll roll here. All right, I'm covering the roll. I'm like, bro, like, oh, he's going to hold the ledge a little bit too long. And I'm just going to do a short hop down there, sour spot, forward smash. Like all these like things. I'm just like, what, like, why do you even know this? Like, and like, how are you not
while playing the fastest too?
Yeah, like it's just like, all right, boom, 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 boom. Yeah, this is all right. Hey, all right, next stock.
It's over.
Huh?
I described the scenario on stream too that I genuinely believe on paper has some truth to it. If Steve hits you with like up till block extensions, blah blah blah, right, and does like at least the 60 or whatever,
right,
and then mines because of the distance created between the two, I think the game's over. I genuinely believe in a lot of scenarios, if not every, like the game could be very much over right then and there based on how it progresses for the rest of the game.
Yeah, I always
like you're saying if that's
the way
how the
you
game
just
starts,
got set back from the damage plus the materials he gained. Now you're just fighting an uphill battle while he's getting more and more. Like I just think it just, and it kind of reminds me of like how a player can systematically do that to you regardless of Steve too. And if I could compare it to two players I'm familiar with, it feels like with Spargo, it's like Zomba's like RPS and positioning and like lightness. You know, it feels like a combination. Like he did these little things as Roy versus Sonix throughout their games that were just so beautiful. Like he did like the classic like Crom Roy player, like move forward, air dodge back. And he would do it while he was ledge trapping, and he'd be perfectly in between like neutral and roll. And it was so fucking crazy how much pressure he was putting on a character like Sonic that is so good off the ledge and on the ledge. Specifically on the ledge. Just little things like, and he hadn't played Roy the entire weekend, and it was just like he wasn't playing Roy as much as he was playing the game, which is really scary. Because his positioning was just on point. But then he also had the down airs and the down air forward smashes, which was the cherry on top. I think he might have won the tournament without those. So like, you know, it's not like he's not doing the Roy stuff, but it was just systematic positioning, and both of them played really well at deficits too. Like they kept it competitive the whole time. But yeah, like they were both just waiting for their opportunities. And I don't know. He's just very good versus Sonic. His positioning was fantastic. Like Marcus was saying, like he capitalizes off an air dodge or a double jump. Like uh I don't know. I think managing your risk reward versus these top players so consistently isn't easy. Like not getting caught sleeping, especially with a character like Cloud or something, right? Um it was great. And it's weird because I also wanted to talk about Leo a bit because he did great.
Amazing run.
And we saw a little bit of extra passion because he lost to Hurt previously, and he managed to pull out the win versus Hurt. So that was like one of the sets of the event, at least for like in my circle, like for myself and like my Twitch chat, we really liked that one. Um, but it's not like Spargo and Leo play similarly. Like
No.
you know, Leo's like a veteran from like Smash 4, like around the time we both kind of came up at a similar time.
Leo's part of the Smash
But
4
Spargo
generation.
feels like Smash 4 strengths in Ultimate, whereas I feel like Leo has fully adjusted to playing more Ultimate than Smash 4 when I'm thinking about their matches. And like, do you know where I'm coming from with that? It's so strange. Like, I don't think Leo is showing off his Smash 4 strengths as much as you would expect in Ultimate. Whereas I feel like Spargo looks like more of a Smash 4 vet than Leo does on the sticks currently. And I'm not saying that's a bad or good thing for either player. I'm just saying I think Leo plays more Ultimate mechanically than you would expect. And we are like many years deep into Ultimate, but when I'm watching Spargo, it looks like a Smash 4 player just slowly choking their opponent out. That's how I feel about it, which is interesting because it should be reversed. I don't know. At least this bracket specifically, it felt like a big separation because it's not like Spargo doesn't, you know, play really fast with the low lag aerials occasionally, get like the spot dodges in there and stuff. But at least in Leo's matchup specifically, he was using a lot of spot dodge, a lot of roll in, which is kind of Snake specific, and it can be quite strong versus Snake. As weird as that sounds, because if he turns around and up tilts your roll, it feels like the worst decision ever. But rolling behind some characters like Snake can be effective. But it's noticeably very Ultimate compared to Spargo, which felt like more like just oppressive Smash 4 style to me. I don't know. I don't know how y'all feel about that.
I think Spargo is like the impressive thing about me, especially for this run, was the speed and the sequencing. Yeah, I think Smash 4, when I think of really strong characters, they had really good sequences, especially because neutral air dodge, there was only one type of air dodge. If you air dodge to the ground, you know, you had a bunch of lag. So there was these sequences that characters could do. I'm just going to speak to the character I played, like Fox, right? Where you up tilt someone, you would go into up air, they would air dodge it. That's the only out, because if they try to jump, you would clip them with up air. But if they jump, you do more up airs because now they don't have double jump. Now they can't get out. And if they air dodge back to the ground, you go back into up tilt. So like there's like these kind of preset sequences, and it feels like Spargo is so studied in the matchups that he plays that he has these sequences mapped out, and he knows exactly when and where to start said sequences, like Pink was saying, and like Gavin was saying, like, you know, even on the waveland back, he would be at this exact position to be out of range of X, but still like make his opponent in range of Y, right? And then he plays out the sequence, and it's not like the sequence is going to be the same every time, which is the impressive part, because it's like a very advanced flow chart. But the crazy thing is, it's like this flow chart that's happening, but it's happening so fast that you almost feel like, man, is it a flow chart? Because it feels so impossible to do that. But I think Spargo is that well studied, which is just, to me, absolutely insane. And the speed in which he does the sequences, insane. How many characters he has that he's able to bring out in tournament, and he's able to execute on this. It's just crazy. And I mean, I've joked on the mic, and I've called Spargo a masher before. You know, like there's that one throne clip where like Leo counters him, you know, 2 or 3 times, and I said that. But like, obviously he's not a masher. Like, to me, mashing is like a wolf that's doing spot dodge up smash twice in a row. It's like, okay, well, you're not, like, you've checked out, and you're sequencing and not weaving and reacting. You're just sending a sequence and seeing if it works, right? And then not reacting during the sequence to change the different flow charts, to change the direction of the flow chart depending on what you see in the screen. I think Spargo is very good at doing exactly that. Starting a sequence, knowing exactly where to position for a sequence, and then going whichever flow chart he needs to go to on reaction. And he's doing it extremely fast. He's doing it with a bunch of different characters. So, and I'll defend any player that can win with this many characters to the end if someone says like, oh, this X player's carried. I mean, the first players I think of is Tweek, Leo, Spargo. These are all players that are super good at the game, have incredible results with multiple characters. Now, there's other players that have results that are similar to the players I just listed, but they did it with a character, right? So that I can't defend as much because it's like, obviously this player is extremely strong with this specific character and you get results with this specific character. And at the end of the day, it's just results in that sense. But when you bring in the word like carried, it's about a bit more subjective, right? But like to me, when you are able to win with more characters, to me, what that sounds like, or that what that tells me is you understand this game to a deeper level than someone else that is a solo main, right? And you also have to just put like way more time into the game because you have to learn way more different matchups and stuff like that. So I think what Spargo showed us at GOML was extremely impressive. And yeah, I just think his gameplay is going to continue onward. He's going to continue on to the next game. I have 100% faith he'll be very successful in the next Smash game, or even if Ultimate had like a surprise patch or something like that, right? Like this is a player that can adapt to change and showcase his skill with multiple characters.
Bro, sometimes I'm just watching him and I'm
Bro,
like, this
watching this.
dude is that guy. Like,
Yeah.
man,
Nice,
you're
bro.
man. It's
Yeah.
like, and it's funny too because like you can tell how many hours he puts into the game just by watching him. Like, there's
Just watch his
some,
plant, bro.
yeah, like you, bro. And the crazy thing is, like, I mean, his plant's winning. Like, he can win with what feels like anyone, honestly. Like, I
With
wouldn't be
some
surprised
shit
if
characters.
he just decided, like, somebody was like, hey, Dono, you play this character at the next tournament, bro, would just show up and win. And it'd just be like being like some of the best players in the world. You're like, what is going on? Like, because like even if you think about like his matchbox, right, where like he won like 80 something sets, like he's not playing like, you know, like not the greatest players. He's playing some of the best players in the world that also play on Matchbox, and he's just what? I'm going Plant. I'm going Violet. I'm going Corin. I'm going like whatever, man. Like it's all good. I got it. I'm gonna get the dub anyway. And I just, it's hard for me to like deny how good he is at the game. Like there are people out there who are like, yeah, but he kind of fell off, which is funny because Sonix and Spargo hadn't been in like a grand finals in quite some time, and they both just happened to make it this event. So that was good to see, especially seeing Sonix bounce back. I mean, his mental fortitude is insane. But there are people out there, yeah, Spargo done, man. Spargo washed, like blah blah blah. And all it takes, honestly, from what it looks like, is Spargo to get mad. Hey, I lost in rivals. I'm tight. And just I'm gonna try to win alt now. Bro literally tweeted, I'm tight. I'm gonna try to win alt to make myself feel better. And then he just won. Okay. Like
Quite the losers run too.
yeah. I mean he beat Layout and he normally has a tough time with Layout, you know. They go back and forth a lot. Look, I gotta shout out the Steve player, bro. I know. Like, what are you doing? Shouting out Steve.
That's fine.
Yo.
That's fine.
Anvil was nice.
I've been championing Onin in DMs for like 3 weeks now, like 3 or 4 weeks. I think that they're getting good at the game. Like, not to say that they weren't like good before, but I think they're like starting to ascend. They're starting to like see things that they weren't seeing before without like the use of Steve. And I think it's one of those things where like if you ever think about people like Smash 4, right? It's kind of different with like Melee and Brawl because the character rosters were so small that like if you picked up Meta Knight or something or Fox, like that don't matter. There's 10 million of them out there. But these like Smash 4 and all have larger rosters, so you get to see like the diversity. But if you think about like the Bayonetta players from the last game, like yeah, they may not have started out the best players in the world, and they were just, hey, Bayonetta's carrying you, blah 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 blah. Hey, that's probably true, but they got so many reps now that like now they're actually good. Like you look at Lima in this game, you're like, well, I don't think you're calling them, but no, but you look at Lima in this game, you're like, bro, Lima is like incredible, right? And I think Onin's kind of like starting to take that path where like you would watch them before and you'd be like, bro, they're just doing minecart anvil, minecart back air, like blah blah blah, like triple F smash, whatever. But now a lot of times when I'm watching Onin, I'm like, that was pretty impressive. Like, oh, that was a pretty good thought. Like, where'd that go? Like, oh, I'm kind of enjoying this. Like, I didn't think that would happen, but yeah, like I actually kind of I've developed like an appreciation for Onin's gameplay as of recent. I think it's getting a little unique, a little creative, and they're not just like full flow chart, which is something that I felt like was the case before. And I think that also attests to why they've been doing so much better recently, where they sometimes they just look unbeatable. Even versus who do they play Spargo, right? And like I think Spargo like got like some early stocks and like they still kept the game close, or maybe they
Yes,
even won the game.
that
Or
was
something
very
like that.
noticeable, the whole bracket.
So
Yes,
hey,
that was pretty close. Or the games for sure were close.
yeah.
I
mean,
genuinely thought Syrup was gonna win the whole fucking tournament. Syrup just just sneaking into the top
always
8.
there, always there.
Yeah, like, and got 3rd place, like kind of quietly.
It's weird. It's expected at this point. So
Yeah,
it's
at
like,
one
nah.
point I genuinely thought Syrup could win the whole bracket. I honestly predicted it at one point, but I kind of forgot Spargo was down there in losers. But yeah, that's just the faith I had in Syrup, because sometimes when players are just quietly making it through winners bracket while a bunch of other storylines are happening and it's like very intense, but like there's the player that's just kind of 3-0, 3-0, 3-0, 3-1, 3-1, 3-0, like, and they're just in top 8. I think it's really important to look at those players because they haven't had to exhaust anything crazy yet, and they're like already in the top 8, top 5 range. So usually they're a good candidate to win the whole thing. And that was my logic with Syrup, just because I felt like they were so comfortable. But yeah, Spargo obviously was just so heated up that it just felt like inevitable. But yeah, that was GOML. It was a fun time. I'm glad y'all reminded me to talk about that, because I forgot episode 200 was so specific to itself. But yeah, there was also the SoCal stuff. I didn't watch as much. I actually have a funny story. I was streaming the Sunday event, but there were some like Donkey Kong Bananza leaks while I was live,
Oh snap!
and I literally couldn't focus anymore. Don't worry, I'm not gonna say any of the leaks. I haven't spoiled any friends that didn't already want to be spoiled. And I was literally like, chat, like, I'm gonna go. I need a moment. Like, these leaks are crazy. But yeah,
Chuck looking up the leaks.
Oh, snap.
I showed him some of them.
Yes, I am informed of the leaks. I am very happy.
So yeah, it's really cool. But I didn't get to watch that much of the bracket, so I don't have as much to say other than like what Charles was saying earlier. Like the collective of like Mexico plus NorCal plus SoCal is really cool. Like I feel like that's a really good combination for a regional. But I don't have as many specifics as I did watching 30 hours of GOML.
Yeah, I watched like the Saturday part until maybe like Leo got to like win his finals or something like that. And I was like,
Yeah.
Leo's gonna wrap this up. Like, let's just keep moving. Which is something I did want to mention as like a testament to Leo. People, we obviously Leo's the GOAT. Like but hey, this could be our Jordan. I don't know. Bro's the GOAT. Anyway, he is still very, very good, and he probably won't lose to like more likely than not won't lose to anyone he's not supposed to lose to. Like I looked at that event and I was like, Karama's here. He might lose to Karama, and
That was the biggest curveball.
that is it. I was like, that is it. There's nobody else here that can beat him. I'm sorry. Like, no offense to everyone that was competing that weekend. Like, he's just that good at the game. Like, and he's that consistent where like he's gonna show up as long as his character choices are in line. Like, and he's feeling confident with what characters he's gonna play, and he's not like, well, for this matchup I should play this and blah blah. He's just like, I'm confident in this character today, and I'm picking this character. Like, when he's like that, like,
Yeah.
good luck.
There's a big difference
Good luck
between like a flow chart and like a just like how you wake up.
Yeah.
I always like that. I did see one of the really nice full sets I saw on Sunday was Karama Luis. And I do want to point out that it did look like Karama was on one. Like
Oh,
Karama
Karama
was
was playing
playing
great that
really
weekend.
fucking well in that set. So I'm not surprised that Leo and Karama had like a heated grand finals. I wish I could talk to you more about the specifics of that. I know it was like game 5 set 2. But yeah, I was really impressed with Karama's gameplay versus Luis. He looked very comfortable. He was doing some pretty creative confirms. He's just playing well. But yeah, that's like the main one I saw before I stopped being locked in on the stream. I'm not gonna lie.
Karama's interesting because like he's one of those players who doesn't go to much.
Yeah.
You see him like 2 or 3 times a year, and then you watch them play and you're like, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, if they showed up to more stuff, like this would be a problem. Like, so it's always interesting to watch them play. I'm always excited to watch them.
Yeah, it was fun just watching a lot of SoCal just duke it out with out of region talent, whether it be NorCal, whether it be Mexico. I mean, this tournament was extremely stacked. On the first day, it was Saturday, there was an open bracket tournament with a prize pool so on Sunday, it was an invitational bracket. So it was just a smaller bracket, and there was already preset players locked into that bracket, but those players could also compete on the Saturday tournament. So that was like the only kind of confusing thing with the bracket format. So the first day, I think the 2 players that got a lot farther than they did on the second day were Monty and Kirash. So they got really, really far on the first day bracket. And then on the second day bracket, they got cut short a little bit. And yeah, it was just overall extremely fun to watch. I'll start off with, I'll go grands and kind of work my way back. But Karama Leo was extremely fun to watch. Very explosive set. The first set, Karama was very hot coming out from losers, and Karama kind of bodied Leo 3-0 that set. Even on the third game, I believe we saw the Byleth come out. And oh man, I like watching Leo's Byleth nowadays, and I'm just like, man, it's crazy because you just see how like not. I mean, I don't think the character's horrible, but comparatively to Aegis, like the character's definitely lacking. If we're gonna compare Aegis and Byleth, like just 2 sword characters, one being way better than the other, and it's just crazy to think back, and it's like, dang, Leo was bodying everyone with this character, which is just so wild to think about because Byleth is very much so lacking. So this tournament for Leo was mainly switching between the Joker and the Aegis. The Aegis was looking really clean. Really liked some of the switches. Was actually kind of sticking it out with Pyra at some of the later percents. There was even a couple times where Leo got punished for that and just like lost the stock. But I saw, what I meant to say was stayed Mithra more so. But it was crazy to see Leo utilizing a lot of the tech too, just like spot dodging out of shield against multi hits and then getting the foresight punish afterwards.
Where the spot dodging is coming from.
Oh,
Like,
that could be it. Yeah.
he's been spot dodging quite a bit, and he does do very, very deliberate foresight attempts. So
I think so. Spot dodging, especially pre-quarantine, was seen as a pretty scrubby option. Not gonna lie, but it is a strong mechanic. If you don't know,
if you're like reading someone, it's not something I do as much normally.
Right.
Like instead of going for a parry, you like spot dodge for frame advantage on like a whiff.
Frame advantage, yes.
Yeah.
So if you don't know, in every other Smash game, spot dodge pretty much had like a set amount of time where you would just be like, okay, this is the startup frame, and then you're invincible to this frame, and then you're actionable in this frame, right? In Ultimate, you can actually cancel 4 frames of ending lag from your spot dodge if you buffer an attack. It's called spot dodge canceling. So it's, obviously very strong. And I think there's even, I don't think we've developed the meta completely around it in terms of like figuring everything out. I've even, theory crafted with other smashers some things like, man, maybe it's better to spot dodge an aerial and then buffer an attack rather than like going for a parry, because the spot dodge feels a bit safer as long as you kind of do it more towards the later end, right? And because when you go for a parry, it's a bit riskier in terms of like you could be dropping your shield, but maybe you can get somewhat the same frame advantage, because when you parry, you get 3 frames of frame advantage, but spot dodge canceling, you get 4. So in theory, maybe spot dodging is better than parrying on certain aerials and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So even just weaving a bunch of different things, and then
Combined with
Mithra,
foresight,
yeah,
potentially.
and then you add in Mithra, and you're like, yo, my dodge roll is, witch time, pretty much, right? I'm like slowing them out, closing the gap. And I think that's something that we saw instantly applied was Pyramithra players just using like rolling in through, because like rolling through a projectile is also just something that you've done throughout all of Smash history, right? If you just want to dodge roll through a projectile, that's, a perfectly fine option. But then, yeah, I think Leo showcased in a ton of situations the spot dodge on a platform when Palutena's up airing or naring, and then you just get the foresight and punish and stuff like that. Mario down air.
Sorry,
The tech chase.
bro.
They always fuck it up.
Bro,
Didn't fuck it up.
I'm so glad, because like that is something. Oh, that's unfortunate. That is something that like actually bothers me.
I know it
like
bothers me,
this late into the game, when you've been playing the character for this long, like, and the tech
You gotta
chase is
hit them.
coming. You like, how can your Mithra, like, you can just react. But like a lot of times I get it, like they're going for the read, they want the down tilt because down tilt gives you more damage, but it's like, or you could just become Spargo and like get the sequence right and figure out stuff afterward instead of going for max down. Anyway, it's all good. Like that's why Spargo's the best. Like that's why Spargo's the best. It's fine.
Yeah, true. Playing like Spargo is not easy, because if it was,
Just
everyone would just
mash.
do it.
He's just a
Yeah.
masher.
Oh
True.
yeah, guys, Spargo just
True.
mash like Spargo, dude.
Just a
You're
mash.
mashing wrong.
All right, that about does it for us. Thank you for supporting the show as always. Episode
Wait, one last
201.
shout out. I just want to shout out 2 players that did well at the
problem.
tournament. So Atreus is Atreus is a Palutena player from SoCal. Had an incredible run. I believe got third place. Yes, third place, losing to Karama. And Lammers, originally from NorCal, that was in SoCal for a bit, but
Both
now is
tournaments,
moving
right? Or
back
mainly
up.
the
Yeah,
Saturday
Lammers
one?
did well in both.
Both,
Lammers did
yeah.
well in both, and Lammers locked the fuck in on the second day, because that me gunner infinite ammo glitch was going.
Infinite ammo
Like,
glitch.
Infinite ammo glitch, and I was just watching Kirash just running across stage trying to get to the gunner with the infinite ammo glitch. So hey, stuck with the strategy and it worked. So shout outs. I mean, I can't, at the end of the day, some strategies are like lame, but also you're trying to win with me gunner. So do what you got to do. You know what I mean? Like, it's just this, there's a lot of characters that are harder to win with. So you're gonna have to do strategies that are strong for the characters. So,
Wait,
yeah, I just want to shout out those 2 players.
One more thing, sorry. It's just crossed my mind. I know it's going to be in the comments. Somebody actually, Doramigi is most likely to be ranked first because Doramigi is the most consistent. Blah blah blah. Who knows, man? Like I don't know. Like it could be Doramigi, but I'm saying like Akola winning Kagaribi is like huge, and he could be ranked first. And if Hurt won Kagaribi or did very well, it was allowed to compete, then he probably would have been ranked first. But I don't know. Anyway,
All right. Have a good one, y'all. Thank you.